Alright, in this video I'm going to reassemble my ResMed AirSense 10 CPAP, not Bi-Pap, but CPAP. And I'm going to reassemble it and talk about all the things I learned as I start getting parts for it. So they've come out with an AirSense 11. So back in the day, which turns out to be January 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, it's 4 years old, almost to the day at the time of this video. And I use it every night, you know, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, rarely 8. And I didn't look at the hours before I started the video, but you know, the motor is probably going to start needing to be replaced. You'll get a warning sign, and but I think you can reset that. I'm going to look at the reset menu in this video and see if I can reset the motor, because you can buy motors. They're like $90. So let me show you. I paid $500 for this machine. I think it's my third machine. Anyway, so I paid $500 and I thought, oh well, how much is the replacement? And a replacement was $758, and I thought, oh geez almighty, man, that's expensive. And then you can get this one here for $808. I really didn't dig into too much what the difference was, whether it's like CPAP, Bi-Pap or something. I don't know. I don't really care. But anyway, the new one, the 11, claims to have a retail price of $22.50. But you can just pay $1,000 and get one. Well, $1,000 for something that I shouldn't be using anyway, because I need to just get this belly off of me and get off the CPAP machine completely. I couldn't do it. So I ended up searching around beyond the website where I purchased the machine, and I started finding parts for it. So this was all new to me, because where I purchased the machine, they didn't have parts. I mean, I could get a Reservoir or whatever, but you know, that's about it. Filters, you know, little filters or something. So anyway, so I purchased a new Reservoir, and then I found this thing. It's a side cover that eliminates the Reservoir, because I never used it. This is the original one, 4 years old. You can see it's discolored, especially when you compare it to the new one, kind of yellowed. And that's without ever using the heater, because this CPAP machine, you can turn off the current to the heating pad, and the heater will never warm the water up for you. So I found a replacement. Now this replacement has a magnet in it, and I started to look, because it's made for like 4 or 5 different machines, and when I looked at the website, they show it without the magnet. All the pictures they have of it doesn't have this magnet in there. And since I don't have all of the other machines, I don't know if the other machines require a magnet, so I'm just going to take this guy out. Kind of saw it the last minute before I did this video, so see, it's a magnet. No, it's not the screwdriver, it's this magnet. So. But anyway, I'm going to be chit-chatting, and this goes on here to eliminate the Reservoir, so I'm happy about that. So what failed is, my wife was saying, hey, you know, your machines make a lot of noise, and I thought it was the Reservoir. I thought it was the gasket in the Reservoir, because again, you know, I never used the thing, and there's the gasket. Because what I would do is I could wiggle this thing and it would quiet up. So of course I thought the messenger was the culprit. So I tried to shoot the messenger by getting a new Reservoir. However, in the meantime, while I was waiting for this to arrive, I looked and found that the air outlet which goes to the hose, comes out of the reservoir like this and goes into the hose. It was split in 3 places, so that's where all my noise was coming from. Let me zoom in here, see if I can show that. Split. So I hunted around and I was able to find a part. The air outlet, they're calling it, and this is fairly available. I mean, I found it on several sites, but as I was hunting it down, I also found this one. I found some more filters, not these, but for my mask. There's a filter in the exhaust to actually help quiet it down. So I'm going to replace this. It's pretty easy to remove. So the way you remove it, it's in the machine. There's a little tab right here, so you can stick one of your small fingers in there, depending on how big and fat your fingers are. Stick your finger in there, and then you can just take a tool if you want, screwdriver bigger than this or whatever, and just press down on it, and then you can just pull it right out. The only catch is this end here spins around. See how it spins around, and you want to set it so that the openings here are at 3 and 9 o'clock. And let me show you why. Let me show you on the new one as I insert it. So I'll get my fingers all on it to insert it. But anyway, when you insert it, what you want to notice is that it's flat right here. It's not round, 360 around, and you need that to line up right here. It's keyed, so you can't put it in unless it's just so. So you get that lined up. Then you make sure it's flat. Can the camera get in there? Make sure it's flat on the ends there. And then you click it in place. Alright, I was having a little trouble on camera getting it all in there where it needs to go. Those 2 tabs on the top and the bottom were hitting. They wouldn't go in. You know, it was all crooked and everything. So what I found out was you actually need to tilt it at an angle like this to get it started, crushing your new seal. And then once it's over the tabs, you can just push it right in with your finger, and we're in, problem solved. Now this guy over here, man, if you lose that seal, you're in big trouble. That is extremely difficult to find. I did find it on a website somewhere, but then I spent 2 hours trying to find it again because I was hunting all this other stuff down, and I skipped over it because I knew mine was okay. And when I went back to look for it, realizing that no one else sold it separately, well, guess what? I could not find it again. So I'll keep hunting that down. The other thing is the motor. That's readily available. Amazon, everybody's selling it for $90. So you can get a new motor if you need a motor. You can take these screws out and these screws out, and you're done. These are the heater screws, this 4 right here. You don't need to remove them. You can if you want, but and then that will allow the machine to come apart and show you the motor. If and when I replace the motor, I'll do a separate video on that. So I have my new replacement part in. Put the cover off. Put the cover on. The reason I took it off was because I wanted to just brush it up a little bit here, just kind of get the dust off of it. So that, as they say, is that. Then I'm going to put my Reservoir replacement side cover on, like that. Just snap it in place as soon as I take out the magnet. Okay, I didn't damage it. I just took the screwdriver and pushed it out. pushed it out and it popped right onto the magnet here. So I've got that off because my original Reservoir here doesn't have a magnet on it. So actually, and I'm worried that since I know there's an electronic panel right here, I don't want a magnet to mess up or interfere with the flow of electrons, let's say. Alright, so my new side cover just snaps right on. Just press it down to remove it. I guess if you ever need to clean it, I don't know why. And there is my machine back together. Now for the filter on this side, I decided to change it up. You can buy these pads, by the bazillions on Amazon, I change them out quite often. And to get this panel off, you can see that there's just a couple of tabs on here. Oh, that one was hidden. So let's see. Got a tab on the end and a tab right there. And on the machine, if you flip it up, you see they go in from the bottom here. Got one here, and we've got one here. And again, I just took my little screwdriver and I just gently pried those out because I didn't want to break it. You can buy a new one if you do break it, but I didn't want to break it because I thought, well, if I ever want to reuse it or go back to it, if I don't like the replacement, then I can just snap it in place, no problem. So I said I was going to replace it. What am I going to replace it with? Well, I'm going to replace it with a 3D printed part that uses 3M respirator filters. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I saw in the review someone complained that it was, 3D printed, which I think that's great. I don't know why the heck someone is complaining about that. But you just, put that right in place, no big deal. And then you just snap your filter on there. Let's see if I came with, yeah, see, I don't know if it came with 3M filters. Yeah, 3M filters say 3M on it, and the filters it came with are not 3M filters, so that's why it was not as expensive. So anyway, so I don't worry about an entrepreneur making a little bit of money there, and we will just snap that on. Alright, the 3M filter does have a date on it, which is the middle of the year of the 2027. So there's that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll probably use these cheapy ones too. I mean, it's not like I'm going to toss them or anything. I'm sure I'll consume them. But I actually do prefer 3M. Their quality control is good, actually. Alright, let me get this on. Let's see if you can see black on black. See how it has those tabs there. And they are not the same width. So when you put them on, you see there's a short one and two long ones, so you need to line it up correctly. Let me line it up correctly. Just pretend you're using your x-ray vision there. There we go. And then you just do a little 1/16 turn, You make sure your filter is on there good and tight here, because it's just force fit, a little bit of friction resistance. And there is my new CPAP machine that I'm going to use. Hose goes here, and we are going to turn it on. And also, as a bonus, going to show you how to get to the sub menu. You can actually change the settings. Now, I think I was diagnosed with 11 and I told him 12. I told my doctor 12 when I rewrote the prescription, because I didn't go back to the CPAP doctor that originally wrote it some whole bunch of years ago. Went to my regular doctor and he gave me a prescription so I could order it online, a replacement machine. And I told him 12. So it's very, very low for me. 11, 12, that's hardly nothing. And I forgot what the units are. It's for doing math and being a mechanical engineer all my life, the units are really strange to me. I think it's like centimeters per water weight, or let me see if I can look that up. So it's in centimeters of water pressure, and typically it runs from 4 to 20, so I'm like in the middle. And then if you start getting over 20 centimeters of water pressure, you probably start getting into Bi-Pap instead of CPAP. So anyway, where I think CPAP is constant pressure and Bi-Pap is where the pressure's so high it's got to relieve itself so that you can exhale. Alright, so that is that. Alright, so I have all my spare parts in here. Reservoir I'm going to put in a bag and put that away if I ever use it again. Have my 3M box here with its pads. And like I said, I'll probably consume the other ones over time. Maybe I'll switch it out. Toss these guys. So the side cover that eliminates the reservoir was 20 bucks, which I got for 17. And then I bought 2 air outlet adapters, one for now, one for later. They were $11. I got 2 of them. So the reservoir, I don't know how much I paid for that. That was on another website where I originally bought the machine, and that's all they had. So now I'm going to show you, I said I was going to show you how to reboot it and get into the menu if you wanted to change your settings. And what you do is you press the home key. Of course, you power it on, you press the home key and the button down at the same time. 1, 2, 3, and that is the clinical menu. I don't do the sleep report, and I don't even have a card in there. So, oops. Settings, gonna learn how to use this thing. See, I'm at 12. I'm using a mask. I don't have any ramp time. I like to go right to the pressure. And let's see. So home therapy. Mode CPAP, set pressure. Yep, I can set the pressure. Yep, sure can. Alright, I'll just leave it at 12. No big deal. Mask. It says nasal, full face, pillow. Yeah, I'm at mask, so I'm just gonna full face, nasal. Yeah, I'll just leave it on nasal. Ramp time off, comfort. I don't know what that is. Oh, comfort. That's the top menu, and the sub menu is ramp on or off. So that's all for the settings. Then I can go back home. Sleep report. I don't care. Hours used. See, I don't really keep that. Well, I haven't used it in a few days because, I'm waiting on parts. So, anyway, bunch of stuff if you want to go in there and mess with it. I don't. So we'll go back to home. We'll exit the clinic menu, and then we go back to user stuff. Ramp on, humidity level off. That means no heat's going to the plate on the bottom. Oh, super zoomed in, sorry about that. Humidity level off, that means there's no heat going to the heater. No electricity going to the heater, very important. Don't forget to turn that off if you remove your reservoir. Mass type, tube, slimline. Yeah, I like slimline mass fit. Airplane mode off, I don't know what that means. Alright, and then we go back home. Alright, well there you have it. That's how you get into the menu, change your pressure settings if you want to be ambitious. Or if you buy a used machine off of eBay somewhere or something, I don't know, a parts only machine, and you end up repairing it, and get in there and set it to your liking. Alright, well that's my video. Thank you for watching.